Racing this time for the second, the Geldings equivalent, the Tattersalls National Hunt, the Motte and Bailey Restaurant and Egans Bar&Lounge Maiden race for the Geldings, and selective listening goes on. Takes them through the early part. Love on Kerr is right up there too, as too is Jamie. Towards the outside, Jack to Bat, as they all take the first safely. The early back marker is Arctic Lane. So into the turn they go. On the run now towards the bend, and selective listening leads them round from Love on Kerr, who's prominent. Right up there too is Jamie with Jack to Bat. Moncour is wide, and down the inside is Star of Diamonds with Bobby's Nelson, and way down south is further back the field. So it's selective listening by 2 to 3, and just in behind this one is Now What Do You Think? Right up there too is Love on Kerr with Jack to Bat. As they disappeared, that was the order. And make their way on round towards the back straight, towards fences 2 and 3. Selective listening, the one with the lead, this son of Westerner out of a Flemonsforth mare who was 5th, beaten just 12 lengths at Ballindennis on debut. Who's gone on here under Bertie Finn for Colin Bowe, who I believe took the 4-year-old race at Ballycrystal already this afternoon, bidding for a 4-year-old double. Selective listening comes back into view in front, being followed in second by Now What Do You Think on the inside of Love on Kerr. Then comes Jamie with on the outside Jack to Bat, Bobby's Nelson, Star of Diamonds. Further back to Arctic Lane, way down south towards the back, along with Magic Button, but they're pretty tightly bunched on the outside. Moncour. Magic Button was the one that hit it that the hardest. Comes out of it the back marker, but relatively tightly bunched, although the leader has gone on by 2 to 3. As they make their way round now towards the straight and on towards fences 4, 5 and 6, which will pass their departure point. We'll catch them on the rise, coming on their way towards the first of these 3 fences in the straight. Selective listening from Now What Do You Think, who sits second. In third is Love on Kerr the Grey, as the leader was a little untidy there. They're being chased a little wider out by Jamie. The sheepskin is Jack to Bat, and then Bobby's Nelson in mid-division with Star of Diamonds and Arctic Lane as they take fence number 5. Further back behind these, way down south, along with Magic Button and Moncour over on the near side as they come up now to pass the post. Selective listening leads from Now What Do You Think? And next up is Love on Kerr. Next up behind these is Jack to Bat on the outside of Jamie, and then Bobby's Nelson and Star of Diamonds as they take that one. Further back to Magic Button, who jumped that well, way down south, and that just pushes Moncour to the back spot along with Arctic Lane. Into the turn they go, making their way on round towards the back straight for the second time towards fences 7 and 8. And out front with the advantage, selective listening, being followed by Now What Do You Think? Just in behind this one in third spot is Love on Kerr, who in fact is improving now into second. Jamie is racing next with Jack to Bat, and then Star of Diamonds and Bobby's Nelson as they disappear. So out front, as they turn into the back straight, selective listening leads them along. Love on Kerr has just gone into second, the debutant son of Dr. Dino. And they were the leading pair on racing behind. Right up there too, Jamie, the debutant Cocorico. Now What Do You Think was also close under Derek O'Connor. Second on debut, this one has a bit of experience to call on. So they begin now to reappear back into our clear view as they go towards the fence of 2 right over the far side. Selective listening, Now What Do You Think? And then behind this one in third is Love on Kerr. They're being followed by Bobby's Nelson, Star of Diamonds. And one that's on the move is Magic Button, making some headway. And then just inside these and behind Star of Diamonds on the outside is Jack to Bat. Arctic Lane, and way down south a break to Moncour, who's the one who appears to be struggling a little bit behind them. They disappear now, making their way right down into the dip. When they re-emerge, they'll have 7 fences left to be jumped in this, the 4-year-old Geldings contest, second one of the afternoon, racing for the Pat Keegan Memorial Cup here. And as they begin now to make their way on the uphill run, it is selective listening. Now What Do You Think? Love on Kerr. And just in behind these is towards the outside Jack to Bat, and then Star of Diamonds not far behind. Jamie and Bobby's Nelson are close behind the leaders. Arctic Lane's trying to improve as just behind these way down south as they land over the next and race up to pass the post. Circuit ahead of them, 5 to be jumped, selective listening. Now what do you think? Lavon Kerr, right behind them Bobby's Nelson and then Jack to Bat. They're being chased on the inside, the green jacket Star of Diamonds. 3 lengths break then to way down south and Arctic Lane, and just behind these is Magic Button, and behind Magic Button as they take that one are both Jamie, who has dropped back, and Mon Kerr. Those two struggle a little at the back. Into the top turn they go. No change up front, selective listening. Has played the lead horse here just far, being followed in second spot by Lavon Kerr. Now what do you think? Bobby's Nelson, Jack to Bat, and Arctic Lane, Star of Diamonds, and just in behind these leaders, but it's selective listening from Lavon Kerr second. Now what do you think? Bobby's Nelson, Jack to Bat, Star of Diamonds way down south and Arctic Lane, and they're in front of Magic Button, and they're clear. Looks as though Mon Kerr is about to be pulled up. Jamie's continuing a little longer, but Mon Kerr is out of it. Down along the back straight they go for the final time. They've got 4 fences left to be jumped. Selective listening. Now what do you think? And Lavon Kerr. They're the way they disappeared, waiting for them now to come back right over the far side of the track and on towards the 4th last fence when they re-emerge back into our view. And selective listening still by a couple to Lavon Kerr. Now what do you think? Bobby's Nelson, Star of Diamonds. Then way down south, Arctic Lane. Jack to Bat's come under pressure. Another one, Magic Button, has come under pressure. Jamie appears to have pulled up. This is 3 from home now. Selective listening, but Lavon Kerr is going up to try and take a share of the lead. Bobby's Nelson's getting right into contention as well. So too now what do you think on the inside, and Star of Diamonds. 5 tightly bunched as they disappeared. One that won't disappear is Magic Button. This one's pulled up. Arctic Lane had come under a little pressure, but the rest were in pretty tightly bunched, those 5. So we wait for them to re-emerge now back towards the second last. They'll have sorted themselves out a little when they do. On the rising ground, now what do you think? Comes back in front from Bobby's Nelson in second. Now what do you think on the inside? Star of Diamonds. They're the leading trio. Lavon Kerr's pulled up before the second last, and it's now what do you think who has the advantage from Star of Diamonds and Bobby's Nelson at the final one. Now what do you think is over from on the far side trying to mount a challenge? Star of Diamonds. Now what do you think? Bobby's Nelson's coming home strongly as well, and it's now what do you think from Bobby's Nelson. Is getting tight down the inside, lost one through the bend. Now what do you think has won it from Bobby's Nelson in second. Back in third is going to go to possibly Arctic Lane in front of way down south. The one that slipped up, Star of Diamonds, slipped up coming up the straight, so that makes for 4 finishers and the rest pulled up.